Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there was a beautiful princess who was so pretty that her stepmother, the wicked queen, went completely mad. The queen was so obsessed with being the fairest of them all that she consulted her magic mirror every day. For years, the mirror reflected the words the queen so wanted to hear, and peace was kept. That is, until one fateful day. When the queen asked her usual question, the mirror responded with something unexpected. "My queen, you are beautiful," he said, "but there is another, young Snow White, who surpasses you." The queen screamed. Her jealousy turned to anger. Like any sensible person, she decided the best solution was to have her huntsman take Snow White to the forest to get rid of her. Well, for good. The poor huntsman was torn, for although he was loyal to the queen, he could not bring himself to harm this innocent girl. In a moment of compassion, he let her go and told her to run away and never look back. Snow White fled into the dark forest, her heart pounding with fear, until she discovered a small cottage under the trees. Exhausted, she stayed there. The cottage belonged to 7 quirky, tiny miners, also known as the 7 dwarfs. They agreed to let Snow White stay with them if she would help them keep their cozy house in order. Back at the castle, the queen was still obsessed with her mirror, and when she discovered that Snow White was still alive, she devised a series of sinister plans to finish what the huntsman had failed to do. She hatched a series of ridiculous assassination attempts. She tried a tight corset, a poisoned comb, and finally a poisoned apple, which for some reason Snow White actually ate. The effect was immediate. She collapsed and fell into a deep, death-like sleep. The dwarves mourned her greatly. After the mishap with the poisoned apple, they placed her in a glass coffin so that everyone could see how beautiful she was, even if she was no longer quite alive. There she lay peacefully and quietly, while the seasons came and went. One day, a prince came trotting past on his noble steed. He took one look at Snow White and thought, "Wow, she's beautiful. I must have her. Glass coffin." It was not entirely clear what he had in mind. He ordered his servants to carry the coffin into his castle. As they dragged the heavy coffin through the forest, one of the servants stumbled over a tree root. At that moment, the piece of poisoned apple stuck in her throat came loose. Snow White coughed, her eyes fluttered open, and she came to life as if in a dream. And so Snow White was saved, not by the kiss of true love, but by a clumsy servant and a lucky coincidence. She returned with the prince to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after. And the queen met her fitting end. She was forced to dance to her doom in red-hot iron shoes.